So today we're going to be talking about the journey of the individual. And an individual is just one person. And for this conversation, it's going to be you. So I don't believe that it is possible to see other people appropriately as an individual until we are able to see ourselves as one and understand exactly what that means. So an individual, that's just you by yourself, nobody else. And every other single person on the entire planet is also an individual. And developing yourself and understanding yourself is super important because that is the only thing that we really have any direct control over in the entire world. There's a lot of things that we wish we had control over, but ourselves, that's it. The way that we see the world, our emotions, our actions, the way we speak to others, the way we treat others, the words that we use, how we treat ourselves. Most people are dictated, or most people allow their emotions to dictate how it is that they feel. And if they feel a certain way, then they believe that they are that thing. But bettering yourself and growing and developing yourself is the only thing that you can really even do. You can try to influence others and persuade them and convince them to do stuff or to treat you a certain way or whatever the case may be, but you're the only person that you have any true control over. And so I'm going to use a whiteboard just because I like to draw stuff, and I'm not trying to be an artist. So this is the individual here, this little stick figure. All right. Okay. So this here, you, is the only thing that you have any control over at all. That's it. Everything outside of yourself, you really have no control over. You just can't, unfortunately. But whether it be people, places, things, you know what a noun is. You don't have any control over anything that exists outside of yourself, really. And it may feel as if the world exists externally, that everything takes place outside. But in reality, everything is processed in your mind that exists outside. You got to see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it. So even though it seems like it's out there, like it's external, it all happens here in your mind. So you have an external world that takes place in your mind, and this external world is going to be different for everybody. Your version of this world is the only place that that particular version exists. Okay, so everything outside of yourself, however you perceive it or your perspective of those things, that's going to be the only place that that very particular version of those things exist. So you have an external world that exists inside of yourself, but you also have an internal world as well. And the internal world, the one that exists in your head, that's just in your head alone. Nobody can really see that. Like, you can try to tell people and explain to people what's going on in there if you're even aware of the things that are going on inside. But really, that's the only place that that particular world exists. Okay, so then the version of you that you see or that you think exists, every other person that's looking in from their perspective is going to see a different version of you as well. So this person is going to be different in everyone you know's mind. I know that wasn't a whole lot of drawing. There wasn't really a whole lot to draw for that, but I like the whiteboard. But yeah, so you have to develop yourself, as a person, and in every way that you can imagine, and become disciplined and become better. And a lot of people are going to tell other people, like, hey, you're beautiful and you're perfect just the way you are. I will never say that to somebody. I can't. I just can't do it because I don't believe that. And today, in this very particular moment, you may be all that you are, and you may be all that you can be. And I'm going to discuss that later on in the future. So right now in this moment, like, you can take some solace and find some comfort in knowing that right now you are exactly who you are. But if you feel like you could be more, or you don't feel like you're enough, or whatever that feeling may be, or that way that you feel inside about yourself, the good news is that you can become better. You can become more. You can become different, and you can develop yourself into whoever it is that you want to be. And you can even try to become somebody, and that may not work out. And then you get to try to be somebody else, and you get to try to do something else. This life is a journey. It's a journey of trial and error. We're going to get things wrong. We're going to get things right. But at the end of the day, it is our responsibility to make sure that we end up okay, and that we become the best version of ourselves in every single possible way, or in every way that we could possibly be, moving forward into our future. But we have to develop the ability to master ourselves and become disciplined, and a lot of that begins with doing things you don't want to do. You don't find strength in doing things you want to do all the time. You find strength in doing things that you don't want to do, that you need to do. And I think that if you're having a hard time not doing things that you know that you're not supposed to do, developing the discipline and the willpower and the ability to do things you know you need to do can help with that. So that builds strength. And then even though you don't want to do it, you choose to do it anyway. And then later on, it's kind of like, well, you may not really want to not do that thing, but you have the power to stop doing that because you know it's not going to be better for your future. So yeah, the journey of the individual, figuring out who you are, realizing that you're responsible for all of your decisions, all of your actions, you're responsible for all of your mistakes, and you're accountable for all of those. And at the end of the day, you have to pay the price for every decision that you make in your life, for the better or for the worse. And everyone else that exists in your life or outside of your life, they also have to pay the price for whatever it is that they choose to do and those decisions that they make in their life. And we're all in this life together, man. We're all, I believe that we all are really just trying to do our best. And it may not seem like that right now in the present moment, especially from the outside looking in to other people's lives. It's like, you might be like, oh, there's no way he's trying to do his best, But I think that we are. Sometimes you just have to cut yourself a little bit of slack and realize that it's okay to get things wrong and that you're human. And being human means making mistakes. And if you get it wrong, then you can get it right. And if you mess your life up really bad and you put yourself in a lot of horrible positions, you can also, if you have the power to do that, then you also have the power to lead yourself to a better direction. So, anyway, y'all have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will speak to y'all tomorrow.